Hello, everyone. Coach Allison back with your Defy Aging routine for week 16 now coming up. And this week we have an in your own space routine, and I called it random reps because there are 6 exercises, and the reps for each exercise is, you guessed it, pretty random. They're going to be all different. So kind of fun to be jumping around with the reps. So it's not consistently 8 reps or consistently 15 reps. It's all across the board. So speaking of that, you will have to be referring to the board quite often, just to be reminding yourself of what all of these reps are. So the way it's going to work is that there's 25 minutes for the routine. There's 6 exercises. You're just going to repeat the list of exercises. So complete the set as many times as you can for the 25 minutes. So it's not a race or anything. You're not shooting for any certain amount of sets to get to complete. Just go through it at your own pace. And for each exercise, just refer up to the board to remind yourself how many reps to complete for that exercise. Some are low, like 6 or 8 for that exercise. Some are higher. I think the highest we go up to is 30. So I wonder what exercise has 30 reps. I'll let you chew on that one for a few seconds here. And then of course we have a team builder at the end. So let's do some demonstrations. Okay, exercise 1 is going to be a reverse lunge to a bicep curl. So we haven't done this possibly ever. I don't know. Turn my camera just a little bit. So reverse lunges we have definitely done before, but I don't know if we've done it with the bicep curl. So you'll just need one weight for this. You're going to do one side individually. So all the reps on the one side before you switch to the other side. And the reps for this are only, I believe, 6 on each side. So the side you lunge back with, that's the side you hold the weight with. So I'll say it again. The side you step back with, that's the side with the weight. So I'll just do one and then I'll talk you through it. A reverse lunge, up and curl. So we've done reverse lunges a whole lot, so I don't want to take too much time on the reminders, but I know we might have some new people. So big step back, bend both knees, get as low as you're able. Don't worry about getting all the way down to the floor. Just as low as you're comfortable or that your strength or your knees will allow you to go. So maybe halfway that's fine. Come up, feet together, and then one normal bicep curl, nothing fancy with the curl. And then you repeat. Big step back, bend both knees, up and curl. Put this weight down for a second. From the side, lunges, big step back. Again, this is what it looks like to bend both knees, and that's very important because a lot of times we see people keeping this back leg straight and just bending the front knee, and that's more of like a kind of a stretch, more so than a lunge. Make sure both of those knees are going down. Now, if you need any assistance with the balance, because lunges are a lot of balance, feel free to move up close to a wall and just place that free hand on the wall or a rack, whatever's nearby, and that's totally fine. Last note on lunges, and I say this every single time we do lunges, is that back foot. Make sure the back foot, put that weight down, is staying nice and, in case it's the best angle to see it, nice and straight, and it's not kind of turning out like that, because that does some weird misalignment with your ankle and your knee and then into your hip. So keep that back foot nice and straight. So 6 all on one side, toss the weight into the other hand, and then do 6 on the other side. Exercise 2, this is the one that has the 30 reps. It's going to be high plank jacks. So core work, some chest and shoulders, but also a lot of cardio. Okay? All right, 30 reps. I'm in a very small corner here. So you're on your hands. Okay, just like you're going to start a push-up or just holding a high plank without any movement, but we jump. Yes, can we see? Jump those feet. So it's very important your hips aren't up here, so we're not doing this. Okay, so hips are level. 1, 2, 3. And that's how we count those. If you're going to do a step jack variety, absolutely okay. Taking out the jump, still count 30. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's not going to turn into 30 each side. Time-wise, counting each individual step still takes just about the same amount of time as the 30 jumps. So we're going to keep it 30 total. You can definitely take this to an incline, up to a bench. Do either option, jumps or taps on an incline, but watch your form if you're doing an incline. Make sure, see how my feet are kind of rolled up onto my toes. and my body has that nice diagonal. My hands are right under my shoulders. I want to make sure we're doing that instead of something like this. Okay, so we still want that nice plank position, but you can do any of those options, whatever is appropriate for where you're at, but 30 is the rep count. Exercise 3 is a fire hydrant, so it's going to be like a hip strengthening and mobility. Okay, so if you were already on the floor for your plank jacks, you can just stay down there. And we're going to be on hands and knees, making a nice tabletop. Okay, keep your neck neutral. So I might be looking up towards the camera, but when you do this, keep your head, eyes looking down. But you don't want to be drooping your head, so that's not a neutral neck. So eyes looking straight down, neck neutral. But the fire hydrant movement is bringing the knee up to the side like this. Now there's more focus than you might think because we want to keep the body nice and still and really isolate the movement in the hip socket. Now what I mean by that is watch the rest of my body, my shoulders and my chest and my upper body, and even like my hips, everything staying really still. Now if I was to sacrifice any of that, things that might start happening, I might start to dip this opposite side arm. Okay, that's something we see a lot, so we want to avoid that. I might start to like lift my same side arm off the floor to like try to help get this leg higher. We want to avoid that. So you try to avoid all those other movements that are kind of subconsciously or unconsciously thinking like you're helping lift that leg higher. So just isolate the movement really strict in that hip socket. 15 on each leg. Now, if you're doing a standing version, it looks a little silly, but it's actually really challenging. You're going to do the exact same thing, but you're just going to come up to an incline. So hands are on the bench or the chair, whatever you're using, and we're going to do a lateral leg raise, keeping that leg straight. We're not going to bend it. So it's actually, that one's actually, I think it's almost harder to do the standing version, but same thing, 15 each side, incline or on the floor. All right, next exercise. We do this one quite often. It's a back exercise, 2-point row. I forgot those. I forget the reps though. Okay, 12 each side. So kind of moderate as far as the rep count, not a super low number, but not super high. So pick a moderate weight for this. You just need one dumbbell though, because of course, single arm. But this is the one where you support yourself on your own front leg. So we're not using like an external support like a box. And remember when we do a row, it's not just pulling straight up because that would kind of cause you to shrug and get kind of kinked up right here. It's up and slightly back. So you want to be aiming it towards your hip bone or maybe like your lower rib cage. That's the area that you're aiming for. Make sure you're not shrugging your shoulder. So push that shoulder down. Get just a little tiny bit of a twist with your torso. See, a little twist. So I'm not staying perfectly flat like this, but I'm not over exaggerating in a twist like that. So somewhere in the middle. 12 on each side. Alrighty, back to another leg one, dumbbell goblet squat. So depending, you can play around with the way you'd like to hold this. Typically for a goblet squat with dumbbell, you hold it like this. But if you want some variety and you have maybe a smaller dumbbell, feel free to hold it on its ends like this. Now, if you have a 20-pounder, 15 or heavier, holding it like this isn't super comfortable or doable in the hands. So like this or like this, whatever you prefer. Either way, you're holding it at your chest height. And we go into squats. Normal squats, feet are hip width apart. Sink those hips down and back. However, don't let the weight fall down like this when you squat. Okay, so keep wherever you have the weight to start, like it's right here kind of at my chest, that's where it stays when you're squatting. So I'm not letting it come down here. Keep that in mind. Same thing if you're holding it like this. My hands are right here in front of my chin. That's where they stay. Again, I'm not letting it like fall down. Very important. 12 of those? Geez, I just checked. 10. Doesn't matter. It'll be on the wall at the gym, but 10 of those. Challenge yourself to get nice and low on this. If your knees have the ability, so if there's no knee restriction, I like to challenge people to get low enough that your elbows tap your knees. Watch my elbows. They connected with my knees. So give that a try. See if you can do it. And last but not least is mountain climbers. This is for 20, our last random number. Okay, mountain climbers go really fast. So yes, it's 20, but they'll fly by. So you're back in that push-up position where you were for the plank jacks. Okay, there we go. I want to make sure you can see my legs. This is probably better. Now that there's lots of ways you can do them. So I will kind of start with the a level 1 and show you the increasing levels, like the harder and harder levels. So the first way, there's no knee option. So there's nothing you can do on knees, but you can do all this on an incline. The first option, once we get our good form, so again, no butts in the air like this, good form, tap your toes in one at a time. So the count would be 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. If you want to progress that just one little notch up, higher intensity, we kind of jump them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. The hardest level is to run them. So obviously that increases the speed, but also the foot that's coming up here doesn't touch the floor. That's another major difference. So watch my foot that comes up here. That foot doesn't touch the floor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's the hardest way to do them, those 3 levels. You can take all those 3 levels onto a box, onto an incline, anyone staying off the floor. Okay. So again, level 1, level 2, and level 3. Okay. So mountain climbers, 20 total. Again, they go pretty fast, so that's the good side. They'll be done before you know it, but that is our final exercise. So for the whole routine, you just take your breaks when you need them. It's at your own pace. When you get done with the mountain climbers, go back to the top of the list, repeat, and you do that for 25 minutes. Okay, team builder. So you need partners, but you're not really working with your partner. Your partner is really, you and your partner are just helping each other to go fetch the ball, really. We're going to do a medicine ball overhead toss. And we don't want anyone like catching these from like coming down because it's just jarring. They're heavy. You can it can be a little dangerous. So one line of you guys will be here. The other line, you and your partner, so everyone else will be, I don't know, really far down, because I'll show you what you're going to be doing. Kind of shooting it like a basketball, sort of. Think of like how we do overhead presses with dumbbells. Kind of want to mimic that movement, but with these balls. And watch out for the ceiling fans, for our gyms that have ceiling fans that are low enough. Be careful for those, because we're just going to go like this. And just where it lands, it lands. This is what I mean by the other person's not catching it. But they'll just go get it. And then they'll throw it. They'll do the same thing. It'll kind of come back to you. So be far enough away that it won't be hitting anybody. Okay. Anyway, we're going to do this for a minute. Just taking turns doing that overhead toss. Again, kind of throwing it like this. Just doing for a big push. Yeah, you can try different weights. Hopefully we have enough balls to go around. If not, we'll just have to figure out how to share them. But that is our team builder. We'll do it for 60 or 90 seconds, whatever your coach thinks is appropriate, and finish up with some good shoulder work. Okay, that is week 16. Hope you enjoy some of these. I think we have 1 or 2 new exercises in here, and I hope you like the random reps routine. See you back next week.